How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Always appreciate you watching. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. I'm talking about one of my favorite action films of the 1990s, one of my favorite action sequels from director Renny Harlin. I am talking about Die Hard 2, Die Harder. This movie came out in 1990. 2 years after the first film, Bruce Willis is back as Lieutenant Detective John McClaine, once again having some bad luck, the wrong place at the wrong time on Christmas Eve. This time, instead of a building in LA, terrorists seize control of Dulles International Airport in DC, where they hold all the planes in the sky hostage, keeping them from landing, including McClane's wife Holly, who is in one of the planes. As always, Bruce Willis is great as John McClane, always busy taking out bad guys, but never not too busy for a good one-liner or cracking wise. He's also very quick to point out the obvious, which I love that the movie even is aware of itself, knowing that this whole thing feels a bit redundant. In the movie, even McClane points it out in a classic McClane line where he says, "How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice?" So yeah, the filmmakers are not taking it all that seriously and letting us know that, we shouldn't take it too seriously. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Every good action thriller needs a good villain, and we have a good villain in this film. Colonel Stewart, played by William Sadler, Death from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Now, I don't think that he's ever going to be as revered as the beloved Alan Rickman from the first film, Hans Gruber. In comparison with Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber from the first film, William Sadler's Colonel Stewart might look a bit generic at first, but he's a very well written villain. He's always steps ahead of John McClane. He also gets kind of a bizarre introduction in the movie. The first time we see him, he's doing naked Tai Chi. As a villain, his character doesn't have the dry, witty sense of humor displayed by Alan Rickman as Hans in the first one, but he does have his own kind of dark, twisted sense of humor that does come across in certain scenes where you see him being rather evil. And so, yeah, I think he makes for a pretty formidable foe for John McClane. This movie doesn't feel as claustrophobic as the first film, since we're not confined to just one building, but John McClane has a whole airport to run around in, and he's always playing catch up. Like the first film, the action is excellent, and because we're dealing with terrorists that are holding planes above an airport hostage, and the action is taking place in and around the airport, the stakes are really damn high, and McClane is getting into some serious shit with these crazy gunfights and avoiding these crazy explosions. You have McClane jumping onto the wing of a plane from a helicopter. You have some pretty fun stuff going on, some very cool stunts. Actors Bonnie Bedelia, Ollie McClane, Reginald Bell Johnson, Sergeant Al Powell, and William Atherton as Dick Thornburg all return for their second and final appearance as their characters from the first film. Now, it makes sense for Bonnie Bedelia's character Holly to be in the movie because that's McClane's wife. And for Al Powell to even pop in there, it's okay because it's there for exposition and there's a reason for it, since McClane is now a LA cop instead of a New York cop, and so they're working together now. For me, that's a real stretch that they have Dick Thornburg on the plane with Holly in this situation, which to me always felt a bit dumb. But you could say the same thing about the entire plot of this movie, given how once again, you got John McClane. Once again, it's Christmas Eve. Once again, you got terrorists. Once again, John McClane is climbing on top of elevators and he's going inside ventilation ducts. Wisecracks, big explosions, classic Michael Kamen Die Hard music soundtrack, which is the key thing that makes these movies really pop. It gives these movies that soul that it needs, that sense of urgency. That Michael Kamen music score really is the heartbeat of these movies. If you're a fan of Coming to America, if you're familiar with Good Times from the 70s, then look out for John Amos, who has a part in this movie as a character that has more to him than meets the eye. One whole year before he terrorized moviegoers on the big screen in Terminator 2 Judgment Day as the T-1000, Robert Patrick played one of the terrorists in Die Hard 2. And also look out for John Leguizamo a couple years before he was Benny Blanco from the Bronx and before he was Luigi in that awful Super Mario Brothers movie. When it comes to any negative thoughts on the movie, one could say the redundancies of the plot are negative in itself, but for me that's not really a negative. Those are just the things that make it a Die Hard sequel. Whenever I'm watching an action movie, if I see the stuntman's face and if it's really obvious and it looks like they're not even really trying to hide it, then yeah, that takes a point down. That takes it from an A to a B. It doesn't happen a lot throughout the movie, but when it does happen, it is quite noticeable and it does take me out of it a little bit. And it does make the first movie feel a bit higher in quality. But Renny Harlin still does a good job as the director. He keeps the story moving and still has a good pace, and the action is strong, the action is exciting, the stunts are spectacular. Along with all the explosive action and bloody violence, the movie also has a good amount of humor, and like the first film, also has the Christmas vibes going on. And I'll argue that the first movie is a Christmas movie, as well as the sequel, Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2 is every bit a Christmas movie as the first one. I recommend it. 3.5 stars. Die Hard 2 from 1990. Check it out. You can find this on streaming. You guys know me. I'm a hard copy guy. I might watch one on Christmas Eve, the next one on Christmas Day. But yeah, these are always so much fun to watch. And you know, any old time of the year is good, but they're especially fun to watch on Christmas. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications on more reviews coming out very soon. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support, for your views. I always appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, share, like. It always helps. And look out for the next classic movie review. See you guys in the next one. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Everybody take care of each other. Till next time. Peace out. God bless.